Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Send your requests for a personalized recommendation to designs@patioheat.com. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so here's a residential application that we looked over once before, and there's some changes as far as the areas that they're looking to actually heat up. So we're not going to go through all the dimensions too much. However, you can see we have a screened-in room. There are some hanging lights. Over here, there's a couple of hanging beds that there's a fan in the middle of, and another light over here. So that's one thing we changed. We made hanging chains over here, and that's going to be an important aspect, is that they are non-combustible chains as opposed to rope or something of that nature. Also, the only other change that we made was we're going to heat up this space here and this space here and the one in back over here. So the one back over here hasn't really changed. Let's just go ahead and let's throw the dimensions on here real quick. So you can see we have 55 feet by approximately 24 feet this direction here. It does go additional 12 feet over here, so this area over here, and I'm going to turn off the screen here real quick just so it's easier to maneuver through here. Over here you can see we have two of the Slimline 4,000 watt units, and I just have them mounted on the beams. The important thing over here is the clearances below the heater, that we're not penetrating the area of where this fan might be. So minimum clearance from this edge here to the fan blade needs to be 18 inches. And then we have a 6-inch clearance above. We're not penetrating the TV set here at all. And you can see we have about a 9-foot ceiling height, or a beam height, for right here to the finished floor itself. So a 4,000 watt in this configuration would be really good. Now you may want to just change this angle slightly. You can see we have a few inches here so that we can actually change this angle here from pointed straight down to maybe about 5 degrees in. And what that'll do is give us a little bit better of a footprint of heat. You can see we have a good crossover here already. However, just giving us a couple more feet of crossover here would make these two areas here very well heated. All right, so that's the one space that we've already looked at. Over here, now we're just going to concentrate on these individual places of occupation, or occupying, I should say. And let me turn off these dimensions here real quick. So what I'm going to do here is just place on, let's see here, two of the 4,000 watt units just above the center. So wherever the center is here would be the center of the heater. That's how I have it here. And then the center of the midsection here would be lined up with the center here. So I just have these heaters centered over this space here. And again, going back to the clearance, the important thing is that these clearances are met. So what I've done here is simply just used a similar chain that looks identical to this one here, and we just mount it above the heater itself, attach it to the ceiling. These are only about 18 pounds, so it doesn't take a lot of support. And just to look at the above clearance here, just so you can see that, we need 6 inches above, and I'm using this beam here, this area over here, and you can see, by the way, 18 inches from the edge below the heater. Those are all the clearance points that I'm using in order to place this heater. So again, 6 inches above, 6 inches to this beam, and then 18 inches out to the end of the heater to this beam over here. And then the same applies to this space right here, which is another hanging sofa, or bed rather. And you can see the footprint of heat with this is just perfect for this type of seating arrangement. Now I don't have the exact dimensions of the bed itself, but I think this would be just fine. You know, you can expect a footprint of roughly about 11 feet this direction, 10 feet this direction, and about 11 feet this direction here. So that should give you enough heating for these particular two types of spaces The other thing you want to look at too is, again, you want to make sure you have clearances to any combustible hanging items like that over here. Now the dining space that they are going to use over here, I just have this as a 6 chair seating arrangement. And so again, the only thing I have here is, I should look at this from this point of view. So from this edge of the property itself to the inside edge of these posts, I drew a line and then centered that line within this span here. And then from that center point, I moved this heater over 3 feet, and then this one over here 3 feet. I believe that was 3. It might have been 3.5. So let's go ahead and check that real quick here. Just give me 1 minute. And yeah, so it's 3 feet. I'm going to take that off. Center to center from the midpoint, and then I took the center of the heater here, and from this edge here to the outside post over here, I drew a line down the center, and that's where the center of the heater is at. So we could move the heater to the left a little bit if that's what you're looking for, but I think centered would be ideal in this particular application. Now you can see here with a seating arrangement like this, we're just barely hitting the outside chairs from the left here and the right over here. So if you're truly sitting down here, for instance, if I was to pull this chair out a little bit and just moved it out, maybe 1.5 feet direction there, you can see that we're outside of that beam of light, the infrared light wave that you really want to be in order to feel the warmth of the ray itself. So that may or may not be feasible to do this, and maybe it'll be acceptable. I'm not quite sure about that, but just note that you're not going to heat up the whole entire space with an arrangement like this. So again, these are 4,000 watt units, and I do have them a little bit lower than the ones I showed you over here. And the reason behind that is the fact that this beam right over here is where it is meeting the clearances. So from here to this beam here, I have 6 inches of clearance, and then I just matched this one up to the same height so that you have a uniform heat ray throughout the whole span here. But I think that would be just terrific as far as the footprint of heat. Now you can see I'm not quite sure what truly is going to be here, whether this is going to be a light fixture or not, but you can see with the one I placed here, I'm just penetrating it just about an inch right here. So this would have to be considered as far as the dimension of this. So what I have here is from here over to the left is 18 inches. So wherever that heater is truly placed, you want to make sure that you have 18 inches of clearance to the left side if this is a combustible light fixture. So all right, I think that's about it. They do have another area in the back here that I believe is something that they are still considering, and we'll touch bases on that later down the road if that is something they're looking for. Otherwise, we really haven't changed our recommendation to the area back over here. So all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application, you would like us to review your plans, please send your information to designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button. We don't advertise, we're not monetized. YouTube does not promote our channel in any way unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we truly appreciate that. Thank you. Have an excellent day.